We have all been there. You are standing on hot asphalt, shuffling forward inches at a time, staring at the back of someone's head. And then a family casually strolls down the empty VIP lane and hops right onto the ride. It is a deeply universal human annoyance. Rational choice theory assigns your time a specific market value. In the view of economists like Gary Becker, every minute you spend standing still carries a price tag, just like the cash in your wallet. If saving 45 minutes of standing around offers a greater personal benefit to you than the financial cost of a VIP pass, buying that shortcut is a completely rational move. You value the time more than the money, so you make the trade. From an economist's perspective, our anger at the VIP is misplaced. The queue jumper is simply responding to the basic incentives of supply and demand. This is a stacked bar chart representing the total operating cost of a commercial flight. If everyone pays the exact same fare, the cost is divided evenly. But as author Stephen Dubner notes, airlines use price discrimination. When someone pays a premium to board early, that top block of revenue expands, mathematically forcing lower tiers to shrink, lowering ticket prices for passengers in the back. We can trace this logic back to Adam Smith's division of labor, where specialized jobs maximize societal output. If a brain surgeon pays an unskilled worker $15 an hour to hold their place in line, the surgeon gets back to saving lives, the placeholder gains employment, and the economy operates at a higher efficiency. Monetizing the line creates a mathematical win-win that increases overall economic welfare. So if the math is sound and even lowers costs for others, why does watching someone buy their way to the front feel so wrong? That discomfort becomes much clearer when we look at Washington, D.C. There is a growing industry where corporate lobbyists pay placeholder companies up to $60 an hour to stand in line for U.S. congressional hearings. The queue often winds outside the Capitol building, acting as a physical bottleneck for public access. Philosopher Michael Sandel argues against this practice. He points out that when we apply that exact same mathematical efficiency to a civic process, we effectively restrict legislative access to the groups with the deepest pockets. Applying price theory to the democratic system breaks the concept of equal representation. If you can afford to hire a surrogate to hold your spot, political access ceases to be a public right and becomes a luxury good. To find the absolute breaking point of this free market logic, we have to look at the severe shortage of organ donors. In the case of kidney transplants, we face a literal life or death scenario. Should a wealthy patient be allowed to legally buy their way to the front of the transplant queue? American economist Alvin Roth calls this a repugnant transaction. It is an exchange that makes perfect economic sense. A legal market would increase the supply of organs and financially compensate donors, but society viscerally rejects it on moral grounds. Some have tried to engineer a compromise, like a Robin Hood tax. What if a billionaire is allowed to pay 5 times the normal rate to jump the surgical line, provided that their massive premium completely funds the life-saving operations of 5 poorer patients waiting behind them? Even when the system is specifically designed to save the lives of the poor, turning medical survival into a monetized priority queue crosses a psychological boundary that logic cannot overcome. To understand why we reject these models, we can look at an experiment conducted by Professor Felix Oberholzer-Guy. Researchers went into a cafeteria and tried to buy their way to the front of the lunch line by offering cash to the people waiting. While people frequently allowed the researcher to cut in front of them, they almost universally refused to accept the cash. We subconsciously categorize the queue as a shared social space. Letting someone cut in is treated as a gift exchange based on human empathy for someone who seems desperate. We instinctively reject the attempt to reduce that shared social grace into a financial transaction. Behavioral economist Ayelet Fishbach challenges the idea that waiting in line is a waste of resources. To Fishbach, the queue acts as an active exercise in civic virtue. It is a rare, shared social experience where self-control and mutual respect take precedence over raw purchasing power. This creates a society where the poorest citizens are consistently pushed to the back of the line, which Michael Sandel warns can lead to deep-seated class resentment. The next time you are offered a VIP shortcut, you are deciding between 2 systems. One optimizes your afternoon through a transaction. The other preserves the egalitarian ethic of first come, first served.